Before we begin this video, I recommend that you visit google.com and search for dinardata.com. This website is a great resource for the latest updates on Dinar Guru news, all conveniently located on one page. For more information, I encourage you to visit the site.
I assume everyone is excited as to what is happening. This is what we have been waiting for such a long time. All indicators are pointed to this week. Iraq is already done, I suppose. The QFS is activated. All is ready to go, all is lined up for this week. The Iraqi citizens here in Iraq want Alaq out. They love Alaq. It's only Iran, the politicians that have stole that want Alaq out. Close to al-Amari, we support al-Sudani, and there is no demand for his resignation or early elections. The news is staying consistent, there is nothing negative. I am still hearing a lot of chatter about between now and the 15th. A lot of well-connected people still think this is a high possibility. For almost like a good 6, 7, 8 months there's all this hype, it's going to change tomorrow, it's going to change tomorrow because there was so much talk about the exchange rate. I keep telling people, that's not what's going to happen. There's still things that need to be done. Iraqi state banks account for 88% of banking sector investments. Quote, the Prime Minister's advisor for economic affairs, Mazar Mohammed Salih, confirmed, government banks account for 88% of the banking system's investments, pointing out the necessity of reforming the banking system on the basis of market work, similar to international banks. They were expecting Iraq to be IMF Article 8 compliant or at least having agreed to the obligations that requires. One of those requirements is having all restrictions lifted, which comes to Article 14. They've been using a lot of pieces of Article 8 to get to where they are now. But they've never accepted the article, which is very simple. It's basically a document that Alaq and Sudani agree to. They sign it and send it to the IMF accepting all portions of Articles 8. The IMF Article 4 2024 consultation, one of the most important things was for Iraq to accelerate accession to the WTO. We are seeing a commercial on TV. It's 5 or 6 minutes long showing our new cards we are going to be receiving in the mail very shortly, they tell us. They're showing the citizens going to banks and ATMs getting money out. They are showing us how to do this. This informational stage we are in is like Mr. Sami, bank friend, said, it will last for the rest of the year. Frank, the commercials are now starting because Alaq has returned. I am going to give you a summary of the other issues that are on the table. They are on the near horizon, and my CBI contact has also told me these are issues that also must be resolved, passing the oil and gas law referendum, as required by their new 2005 constitution. Needed changes to the investment law No. 13, of 2006 to meet the WTO requirements prior to full accession. Institute the pillars of financial reform in the banking, insurance and the Iraqi stock market. This goes hand in hand with the electronic banking effort. Iraq is going forward with the project to delete the zeros and actually in the process of doing it, not just talking about it again. We must stay grounded as this RV is coming to a closure and there is not much longer to wait. The economic expert, Abdul Rahman al-Mashadani, clarified the date of the government's resort to amending the financial budget. Al-Mashadani told Euphrates News that, despite the decline in oil prices, Iraq does not face a problem in the 2024 budget, as 8 months of the fiscal year have passed, and the situation is normal with oil prices rising above $70 per barrel. He added, also, the report issued by the Ministry of Finance for the first 6 months had total spending of 58 trillion dinars, while it was supposed to be 105 trillion dinars for the first half of the year. Al-Moshadani added, the largest part of the spending was for operational expenses, which amounted to 53 trillion dinars, and 5 trillion for investment expenses, and the remaining 4 months of the year can pass easily and without problems, and salaries and wages are secured considering that oil revenues cover the need. In addition to the government's continued existence of financing means that it has not yet used, such as deficit financing means, which were planned to be 64 trillion dinars deficit, with the central bank contributing 22 trillion dinars of it, government banks covering 3 trillion and treasury bonds, in addition to the existence of 14 trillion dinars in revolving surpluses, in addition to the existence of a legal authorization for the government to borrow domestically to secure its general budget. And this reassurance is present in 2024. Al-Moshadani pointed out that if prices continue to decline and fall to higher levels reaching $55 per barrel or $60 in 2025, this will push the government to submit different data that will seek to reduce investment expenditures as happened in previous crises and stop the investment aspect, which is now considered to reach 45 trillion dinars. He continued, in addition to reducing non-essential operating expenses such as commodity and service requirements, which are spent at 17 trillion dinars annually, and were not spent